experience the world's first international radio festival. More than 20 radio stations from around the world, and featuring some of the best music shows available on FM, DAB and internet radio, broadcasting live from the Papierzaal, Sil City. From the 5th to the 11th of September, tune in and listen to how the world sounds.
Welcome to the world's first international radio festival.
This is the first time I came abroad, and Zurich was the first place I ever came to. Now, started, first of all, you're starstruck. You're like, oh my God, this is a new place. This is everything. It's nothing close to Africa, because I'm so used. I've only traveled to Africa. I've never been abroad, ever in my life. So this was the first time taking a plane, doing everything. So what more? It was the Swiss Airlines. Beautiful guys, hostess and everything. Oh, the captain was so handsome. Oh my God. And then
oh my God. Hey, what's going on here? I'm going dizzy.
To be a part of something like this, to be a part of the International Radio Festival, where we're basically bringing what we do back home and to represent Canada, to represent our station, to represent all our volunteers, all our staff, all the music selection that we do, our shows in general too, to bring that to a whole other audience, to share that with the whole world. I mean, how can you say no to that?
Yeah. I hear that actually you should be in Tel Aviv at the moment to do your show every morning, and you're doing it from your hotel room.
Yes, actually we did it from the hotel here in Zurich, because we have to do it. You know, we run the morning show from Tel Aviv to 5 stations in Israel, from the north of Israel to the south.
These two guys are actually the founders of, two of the founders of Radio Dynamo, the station to listen to in Istanbul. Tell me something very quickly. Why Dynamo?
Well, it's you know, we produce energy, you know, basically. So it's we produce good vibes, good music.
Well, in 5 years' time, we could be walking around a zoo.
What's your show all about tonight?
It's called the Morning Show and the Afternoon Special. Wir fangen ganz langsam an und am Schluss wird das hier ballern, Freunde. Because we do the morning show in the afternoon for people who like to sleep long.
When you heard about the International Radio Festival and you were invited to come, what was the first thing that kind of went through your head, you know?
Well, I just found out who was going to be here, and I saw that Dan Prince was going to be here, and I saw that Normski was going to be here, so that made me feel good about it. And I thought, yeah, great, I've got a little bit of local blood that I can connect with, and I love the idea of this, sharing, you know, what we do for a living, and especially meeting people from all around the world that are here as well. So it's very exciting to be able to mix and to share ideas and you know, talk about what we do to lots of people from around the world. It seems like a great idea.
The International Radio Festival is a really good idea. I think being here from the beginning with respect to the actual week's programming, I've been overwhelmed with the amount of positivity. Obviously there's a lot of creativity, but you don't know about what creativity looks like with radio because you only really listen to it. A lot of people don't realise what it takes to put together a show, what it takes to put together the technical side of getting the show up and out to the people. And I think that, you know, it's an incredible feat to be broadcasting across DAB, Cablecom, and local frequencies, 2 frequencies which are perfectly clear. And as well as online on the web, and you know, all at once. It's like massive.
I'm very pleased to be here on this platform after having seen the film The Boat That Rocked. Of course, we drew comparisons. Apparently, you had more sex on your radio ship than we had in our radio station in the mountain. But maybe I didn't know what was happening since I was the boss. Maybe I didn't know all the things that were going on.
And there you go. This is the big one. In 1972, with the power of Radio Luxembourg, I was honorary president of the Elvis Fan Club of Britain, and we went over to see Elvis. I had the pleasure of interviewing him twice. I was allowed on stage in the Hilton Hotel in Vegas to introduce Elvis on stage. And if you remember the guy who went to Butlins I had Elvis's photo on my wall. To think that one day Elvis would have my photo on his wall would not be something I could have contemplated. I could not even think of this happening. But believe me, if you go to Graceland's in Memphis, if you go into the trophy room, you can have a tour around now. You go in the trophy room, you'll see this trophy that I've given to Elvis. It's from the New Musical Express. It's on the wall, and right next to the trophy is this photograph. So I am on Elvis's wall in Graceland's. You don't do things in life that get any better than that if you love Elvis and you love music. So that, if anybody asks me what's the best thing that ever happened to you, that moment there.
Imagine in a city like Nairobi, illiteracy is still very high, so newspapers don't have that much impact. Television is still very expensive, so they don't have that much of an impact. In those areas, in the slum and ghetto areas, it's radio that matters, because everyone can afford a small transistor, listen to their favorite DJ, or presenter, whatever you want, and get courage and new energy. What we try to do is to reveal the voices of those people. Young people from slum area, little perspective, no voice, they were not counted in society.
In 2005 and 2006, CJLO returned to CMJ once again, and the process for our broadcast license was moving. We had already made the application. At the time, there was no availability on the FM dial, so CJLO opted that we still wanted to get on air. We want people to be able to hear us, so we opted for AM, which some people say that it might have not been the best decision, but personally I think that getting on the air was the main goal. AM, FM, it was just an opportunity for people to hear us, hear our voices, hear what we had to say. And as much as technology at this point in our lives, you know, computers are beautiful and it's great to have the internet, it was also back to, you know, like what you were saying, ghetto radio, everyone can afford a little radio. Everyone can have that transistor. Everyone can listen to you no matter where you are. So that was kind of one of those big push for us. We wanted people to be able to hear what CJLO had to say and how we wanted to connect with the community.
It's an honor to be here among true pioneers like Tony, who we just heard from. I don't know if my story's quite going to compare to his, but you know, my story's just different, I'll say. I work for Clear Channel Radio, which is one of, well, it is the biggest owner of radio stations in the U.S. We own about 1,000 stations from coast to coast, from the West Coast, where I am, to New York on the East Coast.
Come on and shake your body, yeah. We're going to go straight over to one of our star guests during the festival, and that is Prifty from Radio 1 India. Radio 1 India's got how many listeners, Prifty?
It's definitely more than the population here in Zurich. At least twice the population.
Don't forget, Switzerland's the crossroads of Europe.
Absolutely.
Very small, modest place, but it is like, you know, it's like the middle of the record of your turntable, you know? Everything's going around it.
don't forget the music scene that you got here, that you are very lucky. You have really good artists producing from here. And we know that they're not really known here as a big DJs, as a really famous stars, but they're great.
What was the journey you put us through yesterday?
Okay, the name of the journey is called Mystic Forest, and the name of my show is called Trip Out Session. So I was hoping by with my music I will be able to trip my audience out. I want to bring them to this because I play tribal tech house. So I want
tribal tech house.
Tribal tech house. So
I want
tribal.
I thought you
yes.
said trouble.
Trouble.
But I know you're trouble. What's the story tonight once you go behind the turntables?
About my music?
Yeah.
Yeah, I started always with deep house, and up a little bit, so slowly, no? But with a good feeling, no commercial, no conventional music, the music of Ibiza Global Radio, no?
You were transmitting live, weren't you?
Yeah, we were broadcasting live in Lisbon. They just told me in the last minute so that I wouldn't get nervous, I believe, because I tend to be too stressed out with this kind of stuff. And they just told me minutes before, oh, you know, we're broadcasting live, so okay, so at least I know people are listening.
Right here on Radio Luxembourg. It's nearly time for the English service. Will you all stay tuned there?
It's such a natural kind of event to bring radio together, to show people what radio's like all over the world, to celebrate radio, to show great DJs, play new music. You've got an incredible potential here. And so when I heard it was your first one, I bolted over here pretty quickly. I didn't need much persuading.
I can attest to that, he didn't.
Because I just thought, yeah, I want to see how they're doing this so I can just guesstimate whether it's got legs. Is it going to go? And I'm confident, knowing the two guys, you and your mate, who are pulling this together, you know, you're going to be, in 5 years from now, it'll be a million times bigger. It'll be very, very different than the one we see here today. But I believe you've got a winner here, and I think it's important for the radio industry. It's fantastic. Congratulations.
I really hope that I can tell them that I met tons of wonderful people from all over the world, and I hope I can return inspired for my own everyday work.
Well, that's good, because what we really want is we want you to get busy with all the other radios that are here, and we want you to be doing exchange programs. Like at school, remember at school, you did exchange programs? We want you to be doing exactly the same thing.
That's exactly like... For me, like, that's exactly what this thing is about, you know, just to meet people doing the same kind of thing from over the world. I think it's a great idea, actually, because, you know, sometimes when you're in your studio, well, it gets kind of lonely. I mean,
well, the studio's got to look like this, doesn't it? Yeah?
I mean, it's like a party here, and yeah, meeting people from all over the world, you know, essentially doing the same kind of thing, and everybody does it out of love and passion. It's a beautiful thing, and it's a really beautiful thing to get everyone together.
Generally, we're having a good time, only at the International Radio Festival. Be with us.
Be there or be square.